Yes, we have six folks and all 3 Salinas members.
Yeah, cool. Okay, got it. Okay, so it is, I have 6 o'clock on my computer now. Again, my name is Robert Cullen. I'm board president. I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Can we go through and do a roll call, please?
Absolutely. Vice President De La Rosa?
Here.
Alternate Vice President Lopez is absent. Director Cromings?
Yes.
Director Lara?
Here.
Director Phillips? Director Phillips? Director Silva?
Here.
Director Tipton?
Present.
Director Villegas?
Here.
Director Collin?
And I am here.
Have a quorum.
Just jotting some notes about who's here and who's not, so I know as I do the call-in, folks. Okay, let's see. Can someone please do the announcement related to interpretation services?
Sure. Servicios de traducción están disponibles llamando al 1-425-436-6345 usando el código de acceso 444-666.
Thank you for doing that. And as a reminder, we do offer interpretation services for all of our meetings. I am going to start this meeting. We're going to open up this meeting with silence in honor and remembrance of Mayor Gunter and Mayor Rubio, who we lost. So if you would join me in a moment of silence in thinking about the two of them, the impact that they've had on our communities, as well as saying a special prayer to the men and women who are fighting the fires here. So join me in a moment of silence, please. Thank you for that. And certainly Mayor Gunter and Mayor Rubio have their mark, will leave their mark in our communities and our hearts.
Yes.
So we'll just add before we start the meeting, as I had mentioned previously, that if anyone would like to submit a comment, either for public comment or as we see agenda items, you can do so by sending an email to the clerk of the board at comment@svswa.org. Every effort will be made to read your comment into the record, but some comments may not be read due to time limitations. Comments received after agenda item will be made part of the record if received prior to the end of the meeting. And there will be some portions of the meeting where I'll take pauses because there's a delay from when I speak till this appears online, to give people an opportunity to submit comments. And I will do our best to move through this meeting in an efficient manner. I know we all have a lot on our minds and a lot going on right now. So on that note, I will go ahead and start off with general manager comments. Patrick.
Yes, I just have one item. Because of some of the challenges we've had and the delays using the structure we have with the board meetings right now, Ernesto was able to find that there is a module that's added on to Zoom for webinars, and what that does is it creates a second tier platform that allow us to have the board members in one, as we are today, speaking and talking and having interaction, and then other members of the public would be able to participate via Zoom, but they would have both their video and audio muted until it's time to call for questions, and then they can use the raise hand function and actually give direct comments to the board during the meeting. So we'll be talking about that with the executive committee, but we were intending to roll that out actually as a trial for the executive committee, see if it just works a little more smoothly than having to have this sort of 1 or 2 minute delay at the end of each item to wait for the YouTube video to sync up and people to have time to respond. So that's my only news for today.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Patrick. One reminder to the directors, when you're not speaking, if you could put yourself on mute, that would help out with some of the feedback. It looks like pretty much everyone is. Okay, good. And let's see, let's go to department manager comments. And anyone would like to start on department manager comments?
Good afternoon. This is Caesar. Just a real quick update on the fires. We are keeping our staff monitored, and the smoke right now, the worst smoke is down south. King City's got it by far the worst. We're monitoring it on the Air Board's website, so we will keep an eye on that. We came close to closing down Holon Road today just because the air quality down there got real poor, but we were able to keep it open. But we'll monitor South County, Johnson Canyon, and Holon Road, as well as Salinas. But right now it looks like South County is going to get the worst of it. So we'll keep that monitored. The other update I want to give the board is the Gloria Iverson Johnson Canyon Road project. That is moving along very smoothly. They've already closed Gloria and Iverson, tore that out, and they're making very good progress. It looks like right now, like the end of September, maybe early October, that project will be wrapped up, assuming no weather delays or no rain comes sooner than expected. So that project's moving along very, very well. So just a quick update on that project that's been on our radar for probably about 12, 13 years now. So very, very good news. That's all I got for tonight.
Okay, thank you, Caesar. Brian, anything for us?
Nope, no comments.
Okay, I'm just looking to see on the participant list. I don't see, oh, there's Mandy. Mandy, do you have anything for us?
No, not right at this moment. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you, Mandy. Did I miss anyone? I don't see anyone else on the list there. Oh, there's Ray.
I have no comments.
Okay. Okay, great. Let's we'll go to board director comments. And are there any board directors who would like to make a comment? Okay.
I have none.
Yeah, hearing none, then I do not have a comment tonight other than what I previously said. Public comment, has any public comment come in?
No public comment.
Okay. All right, let's go down to the consent agenda. Are there any items on consent that a board member would like to pull? And hearing none, and as a reminder to the public, if you would like to submit a comment, please email comment@svswa.org. Has any public comment come in on consent?
No public comment.
Okay, I'll bring it back to the board for action. And if you could state your name before taking the action, please.
Phillips, move consent.
Croming, second.
Okay, Phillips with the first, Cromines with the second. And let's just be consistent and transparent. If we could do a roll call vote, please, on this.
Sure. Vice President De La Rosa,
Yes.
Director Cromings,
Yes.
Director Lara,
Yes.
Director Phillips,
Yes.
Director Silva,
Yes.
Director Tipton,
Yes.
Director Villegas,
Yes.
and President Collins.
Yes, motion carries. And we'll go down to item number 9, which is a presentation. It's an update on the refrigerated food distribution truck purchase for the Monterey County Food Bank. And we're going to receive a report from Mandy Brooks, Resource Recovery Manager, please.
Thank you, President Cullen. Members of the board, good evening. I know this is kind of some crazy times happening, so thanks everyone for being here tonight. My part of the presentation is actually quite short. I am just going to refresh your memory that in May of this year, which seems like maybe 6-9 months ago at this point, The board graciously approved the purchase of a second refrigerated food truck for the food bank for Monterey County. And this was to assist with their food rescue programs, in increasing their fleet size, but also to help ease the extra demand that their services were experiencing due to COVID. I know you guys all, recognize that, but Melissa Kendrick, who is the executive director with the food bank, would like to take the opportunity to formally thank the board. And so she is here tonight with us. So I will turn it over to Melissa, and I think we're going to change the slide to what the truck looks like, but this is not the actual truck, but this is one of the trucks, and this is potentially what it would look like. So Melissa, if you are on and ready to go, I'm handing it over to you. It looks like she's on mute, and I don't know if she knows she's on mute.
Okay, am I unmuted?
Oh, you're unmuted. Fantastic.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you so much, and thank you all. And first of all, I just can't say enough for the relationship and the support of your entire staff, but most specifically Mandy. I can remember it was one of those dark days after we'd been in shelter in place for several weeks. We had depleted 6 months worth of inventory in 7 weeks. We had established over 60 sites throughout the county. However, as you know, several years ago, after the arson fire, you were also wonderful in helping us. And Mandy seems to be one of those first people that shows up and is willing to do all the work, which is always just so incredible. But we've had tremendous partnership with you. And once again, I got a call from Mandy, just letting me know the generosity of the board and all that you were willing to do. This refrigerated truck, which is going to arrive, I think, in 2 weeks. And yes, it's going to look identical to this, other than on the back of the truck. And I don't know, Mandy, if you have that caption, but it's wonderful. And it's going to be different on the back. It'll have your logo, as well as talking about how we are replenishing and being good to the earth here. I think, I don't know how many of you have been to the food bank, but one of the most important things in the new building is that we have 30,000 square feet of refrigeration. And that was designed so that we could work with our wonderful ag partners and make sure that everything that can be consumed is being diverted from the landfill. And once we moved into that new facility last year, that's what was happening. Unfortunately, as many of you know, ag has been decimated along with hospitality. And so at this point in time, we are serving over 240,000 individuals monthly. Of course, now with the fires, beyond doing the relief from all of those that have been unemployed and sheltering in place, we are now assisting in the difficult times that we're going through with the fires. So I just really wanted to thank you and just tell you how much we value the partnership. We think you're all fabulous. We're huge environmentalists, so the ability to divert things from the landfill is huge for us. And more importantly, to divert what we grow here and then put it in the mouths of those that most need it is just a wonderful, wonderful partnership. So I'm willing to answer any questions, but really this was just all about being grateful and telling you what a wonderful staff that you have. And I'm sure you already know that. So thank you, Mandy, and thank you, everybody else.
Well, thank you, Melissa. Mandy, did you have anything else, or?
Oh, no, I just, I do want to say that Melissa is fantastic to work with. We greatly appreciate the partnership, as I think Ellen says, right back at you. But I will say it was not me alone. Patrick said, order a truck, and I did what I was told to do by my boss, willingly and absolutely. So I was just happy to be part of that and help make that happen again. So they're very deserving. And thank you, Melissa, so much for being here tonight. I know it's crazy time, so we really appreciate you being able to thank the board.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Of course.
And Mandy, before you mute yourself, do you remember what month did we buy the truck? Did we order the truck?
We got approval in May, and then I think Caesar ordered it immediately after. It's a refrigeration unit, and there's a special lift gate that's on it. So I think the truck itself, or the chassis or something, is in the yard. We're waiting for the refrigeration unit part, which takes several weeks to order. So the last I knew is that it should be here within the next couple weeks.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. And just there's a big backup because obviously there was production problems and everything. So that has really made it challenging. I will say you did a wonderful job on sourcing that we're getting it this quickly. So thank you.
Cool. That's good to hear. Well, I'll tell you what, Melissa, it's one of those scenarios where words cannot describe how thankful we should be for you and for the food bank. I'm in King City, and our food distribution is on Wednesdays, and go for a run in the morning every morning. And on Wednesday morning, when I'm running at between 5:45 and 6 a.m. and I go past the fairgrounds, already by 6 a.m. there are 10 cars lined up.
Yeah.
It's an emotional thing, of course, the need that's out there. And this collaboration, our ability to purchase this truck, and the collaboration between the food bank and all the growers and other places that move product to the food bank, just hopefully a day will come where we don't need it as much, but as the demand continues to be so strong, I'm thankful for what you, Melissa, and your team are doing. So thank you.
Thank you.
At this point in time, I will open it up to board comments or questions, and you're welcome to unmute yourself if you have any comments or questions from the board, please.
This is Christy Cromings. Rob, I just wanted to echo your sentiments. I think you said it very well, and we just appreciate what the food bank does for Salinas and Monterey County as a whole. Thank you.
Thank you, Christy. Okay, has any public comment come in on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, and this is on for information only. It's funny, Melissa, there's of course, normally our board meetings are in person, and it would be about this time that I would say, don't feel like you have to stay for the whole meeting.
Well, it's easy. Now I just can off Zoom, right?
Exactly, that's right. So keep up the good work, Melissa, and you take care, and big thank you to your team, please.
Right.
Thank you. And I hope you'll all come visit us after this at the food bank and see the truck as well as all the good work we're doing. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go on to, we've got another special thing. It's nice to have some good news these days, and specifically today, we need it. So we're going to go to an Employee of the Year recognition. Boy, this is a first to do it virtually, huh? So I'll turn it over to Caesar. Are you starting on this? Yeah.
Yep. So, as we know, every year we recognize our Employee of the Year at the Communications Dinner. So this year's been a little different. And we had a communications lunch, which was split up amongst 2 days, separate events for South County, North County, a little different. And actually the Employee of the Year was not there because she had taken a long weekend off. So we recognized her when she came back on Monday. But anyway, this year we had I want to say 5 nominees, and I want to say our Employee of the Year was a unanimous vote amongst the managers once we got the nominees, and she is Mary Ellen Lopez. And if you've ever been to the Sun Street Transfer Station, Mary Ellen is our famous scale attendant. She started working the scales at Madison Lane when we contracted that operations to Recology back in August of 2000. And then she became an authority employee in September of 2009. So she's been with us 20 years. I'm sure just about everybody in Salinas knows her because she's just a staple of the transfer station. She has visitors. A lot of seniors come visit her. She's famous on Yelp. We get very good reviews, and they make sure they say that the lady at the scale house is great. Mary Ellen is awesome. And sadly, bittersweet, today was also Mary Ellen's last day. She is retiring. And we did post the notice to the public on our Facebook, and we did get a lot of sad emojis from people that were gonna definitely miss her. So it's with great pleasure and bittersweet that we recognize Mary Ellen Lopez as our 2020 Employee of the Year.
Yay. So and she's not with us online today, is she?
She's very shy. The picture that you see on our Facebook webpage is a partial of her because that's how much she loves taking pictures. You could probably just see her nose and part of her face. So we got lucky. These pictures that are on here, some of these were from today's lunch that we had, just to recognize her and her retirement. So she actually let us take pictures of her today. So, and today was her last day. She had a pretty laid back day today. A lot of customers knew that she was retiring. A lot of people came by, wish her well, give her retirement gifts, different stuff like that. But she's just been a great employee, very straightforward, funny. Customers love her. I had a lot of seniors that would come and visit her, and if she wasn't there, they'd turn around and say, "We'll be back tomorrow." Just because they enjoyed having that conversation with her. So she will definitely be missed, and well-deserved recognition for her.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'll start off by saying that I enjoyed getting to know her a little bit at the communications dinner last year. Here, I thought us doing recognizing her as Employee of the Year was try to get her to stay another year. Was there an ulterior motive there that failed, Caesar?
Yeah, actually, I kept telling her. She told me she's moving to Arizona, and she told me that her sale of her trailer was not happening till Saturday. So, hey, you want to stay another week? Work another week? And she said, "No, I'm out of here." So yeah, she was ready. I think the other driving force, unfortunately for her, was the high number of customers we've been getting since COVID started at Sun Street. I mean, she is dealing nonstop with customers showing up to the facility. I mean, at peak, I want to say we're probably 550 customers in one day. So she would really tell me, "Boss, I'm really tired. When's this going to slow down?" So I think when the day came, she's like, "Thank you. I'm out of here."
Well, on behalf of the entire board, please pass our gratitude, our thanks, our well wishes. Besides being a wonderful person, she's clearly a wonderful role model for her colleagues, and just a neat, genuine person. So everything from a role model to colleagues to just an awesome face to the public for the authority that we've been blessed to have had her for that length of time. So please pass on my gratitude, the board's gratitude.
Right.
We'll open it up for board comment on this. I see Judge Phillips, you unmuted yourself. Did you want to start off?
Yeah, I did. I probably driven across that scale maybe 40, 50 times, sometimes with the big cleanups from Rancho or county. And I've never did anything other than meet someone with a big smile. And usually when you're going to a landfill, you got to deal with issues and things. And if you had issues, she took care of it, and it was just a great way. So she was a great PR person for the entire department. So just a grand lady. Always had a smile on her face.
Yep, for sure. Okay, are there any other board members who would like to comment?
Rob, my husband is standing behind me telling me that he is greatly going to miss Mary Ellen and the smile she always had on her face.
And And this is Gloria. Very dedicated, can you hear me? Very dedicated employee. The kindest person. Did you hear me?
Yes, we can, Gloria. Thank you.
Very kind, very friendly, a very great role model and I know that the employees that we have right now are also very kind, but Mary Ellen just gave a lot of that personal touch, and she's going to be missed. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Christy, you know what you need to do for your husband, either his phone or his computer? You need to get one of these smiling pictures of Mary Ellen and do it as a screensaver or background.
I do. That would be great. You know, he picks up trash for the city of Salinas, so he works with the inmate crew when you do community service coordinator, I guess is his title. So he's in there a couple times a day, and he's really gonna miss her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that. Liz, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I was just waiting. And I just wanted to echo your comments. I did get to know her through the annual communication meeting, and she was a hoot to know. And I don't know if all the board members know that she does not live close to Salinas. She drove every day back and forth from Chowchilla to come to work. So congratulations, Mary Ellen. Well-deserved time off, and blessings to you always. I'll miss you too.
I might add that was in a pickup. She drove back and forth, not a small car.
Wow.
And not a new pickup either. Okay. Are there any other board members or staff that would like to make a comment? Okay. And has any public comment come in on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, this item is on for informational only, so we'll go to item 11, which is an annual tonnage and diversion performance report for fiscal year 2019-2020, and we're going to hear from Caesar and Ray, please.
Actually, I'm going to defer. I think Caesar's doing the entire presentation.
All right, so here we are another year, and this is a little different year, a little different situation, but here's our 2019-2020 annual tonnage and operational report. Next slide, Rosie. So here's our historic tonnage. You may recall we used to import waste from South Santa Clara County. At that point, our peak ended up being around 270,000 tons or so. We stopped the import when we took over the operations of the Johnson Canyon landfill, which was in December of 2014. And our tonnage last fiscal year was 224,979 tons. That's a slight drop from the previous fiscal year, and it's probably related to the COVID pandemic and impact that had on the commercial businesses. Next slide. So overall, the authority service area landfill tonnage process, we had 224,323 tons of material that came through from our service area. You can see the breakdown of tonnage by the city of Salinas, Soledad, King City, Greenfield, Gonzales, and the county of Monterey. Salinas had 135,000. County of Monterey had 46,000. Soledad had just shy of 14,000. King City was at 9,200. Greenfield 9,500, and the city of Gonzales 10,300. Next slide. Diverted tonnage by commodity. We had a total of 53,334 tons of diverted material from the facilities. Of that, 77% was green waste. That's by far our largest program out there, the green waste curbside collection and commercial.
Caesar, I'm going to interrupt you. Caesar, I'm going to interrupt you real quick. I got a comment from a board member that they're not able to see your report. I am able to see the report online. Is anyone else having problems? So I am, but I have one board member who's not able to see it. Anyone else having problems?
Seeing it on mine.
I can see it.
They would have to switch their
I'm
view.
good.
I just need to know if anyone else cannot see it. Okay. So for the one director who cannot, perhaps you can try logging off and logging on. That might help, but it looks like it's only one person that's having that issue. So Caesar, go ahead and you can resume.
Okay. So overall, green waste is our largest diverted commodity. 17% is made up by other diverted materials, which is salvage metal, carpet, asphalt, concrete, mattresses, cardboard, plastics, glass, and paper make up 9,000 tons, or 17%. Diverted wood is 6%, and then HHW, 220 tons of HHW is quite a bit for household hazardous waste that we collected and kept out of the either illegal dumping or residential trash. Next slide. Did you skip a slide there, Rose? No, go back. There it is. Okay. Offsite diversion. This is stuff that goes offsite. Cardboard, CRTs. The slurry is from the depackager. That's stuff that went over to COD, to the Carmel area wastewater district. Mattresses go offsite. Plastic, clean fill. That's probably from Sun Street. We do get clean fill at Sun Street. Tire amnesty, mixed paper, tires, carpet, and glass. And then metals is our biggest offsite material that we produce out there. Next slide. So tons of landfill. Service area, we had 224,323 tons of landfill waste from our service area. Outside service area, this is either the peninsula or other counties, Santa Clara County, San Benito County. We had 656 tons come from the outside the area. Overall, 224,979 tons of landfill material at Johnson Canyon Landfill. Next slide. So we'll talk a little bit about Holon Road Transfer Station. Next slide. This is our most recent aerial. We took this shot of the landfill in May. So although the landfill may look a little large there in the middle, it's surrounded by the perimeter road, it's about 22 acres. Not very big compared to the property. The property is just shy of 500 acres. And on the upper left area, that white area, that's the actual transfer station right there. And then down at the bottom, close to the center on the far right, that's the courtyard that we lease out to Waste Management. Next slide. So Holon Road Transfer Station trips. 2015, we had 7,297. That has increased every year up to 2019-20, where we're at 13,325. So we're almost doubled what we had in 2015-16 at the Holon Road Transfer Station. Next slide. Tons have also continued to increase. At the time we took it over, the year before, they had 17,295. First year of operation with authority staff, we jumped up to 19,825. We peaked out in 17-18. I think they had a large demo project in King City, and we jumped up to 21,469. This last fiscal year, we're at 20,622 tons. Next slide. The overall increase since 2015-16 fiscal year, trips at Holon Road have increased 82%. Tonnage has increased 19%. Johnson Canyon Landfill, just a reminder, Johnson Canyon Landfill is the only landfill open in the Tri-County area on Sundays. Next slide. About a year ago, we visited Johnson Canyon and we actually looked at the Module 7 excavation that was going on. I believe it was June of 2019. Well, this is the same module we looked at back in June of 2019. This is the initial lift. This is the first lift of waste that has gone into that module. This is a picture of Module 7. Next slide. And we also have been working on the organics operations. We've completed the ASP for the composting pad. As you can see on the top picture there, that's the actual aerated static pile area there. And there's some actual grounded material that's being composted at this time. That picture, I believe I took it 2 weeks ago, so it's a pretty recent picture. And then the bottom picture is the chip and grind. In the back, you can see the shop where the depackager is at as well. So the organics program that the board approved in 2017 is coming along very nice. We are diverting packaged material, chip material, curbside material. We've got other vendors calling in to get rid of other canned goods potentially. So it's very well accepted amongst the commercial businesses, and we continue to expand that program. Next slide. So overall, Johnson Canyon landfill trips, 2015-16, we had 30,006 trips. That continues to increase every year. This past year, we were up to 44,834 tons. Next slide. Tons are also continue to increase. 2015-16, we had 240,000 overall tons accepted at the facility. And that continues to increase as we go on. We had 295, 467 overall tons. Actually, that caption on top is incorrect. This is overall tons that we received at the facility. And we had a slight drop from last fiscal year. Once again, it's more than likely COVID related. Okay. Here's a comparison increase since fiscal year 15-16. So 15-16 compared to this last fiscal year, we've increased trips at Johnson Canyon by 49%. We've really seen a jump on the weekends. South Falls really, I think I get a lot of Salinas residents going down there on the weekends. We're doing, it may sound like a small number, but we're doing about 100, 115 South Falls on Saturday, and then about the same number on Saturdays, which is quite a bit of jump, because when we started advertising this back in 15-16, we're probably around 30 to 40 trips. So definitely getting a lot of more customers from the South County and also from Salinas there. And then our tonnage has increased 23% compared to fiscal year 15-16. Next slide. Sunstreet Transfer Station. This picture on the very top shows how congested the facility can get at times. It's open air at this time. You can see all the vehicles. I like this picture just because if you look at it on the very top, if you follow it from the scale, you can see the line wrap all the way around. You follow it, it wraps all the way out to almost the street. And that's been our COVID-19 pretty much daily trend. Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays is pretty much like that all day long, nonstop. We catch up with the line, and then the line backs up all the way, and it's pretty much like that till about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and it starts mellowing out from there. Next slide. Sunstreet Transfer Station trips. So the 2015-16 number was 73,607 trips. That continues to trend up year after year. This last fiscal year, we're at 97,717 trips. And those are trips that came across the scale. There's a lot of people that show up just for the free recycling, the appliances, the mattresses, cardboard, paper, stuff like that are not counted. So that number is probably north of 100,000 trips. Next slide. Tons, we were pretty much capping out the facility in tonnage. 15-16 was 103,177, and that goes up and down. Right now we're at 107,341 for last fiscal year, and that goes up and down because we try to max out the facility permit every day. That's by taking Republic Services at the facility, giving them a set number of tons, and then the rest is for Southfall and Public. So that number's up and down, and lately it's been down because we cut them off early because we're getting a lot more Public and Southfall at this facility than we have in the past. So the Public and the Southfall and the commercial continue to increase, which means that more waste, more of Republic's waste has got to go to their own facility for their own handling. Next slide. So since fiscal year 2015-16, the increase in trips at Sunstreet has increased by 33%. Tonnage has been pretty flat, but it has increased 4%. Next slide. Just a real quick staffing levels chart here. Holon Road in 15-16, when we took it over, we had 3 employees in there. We've increased trips by 82% and increased tonnage by 19%. Our staffing level will still remain the same. Johnson Canyon Landfill had 8 employees when we took it over, and that they have increased tonnage, increased trips 49% and tonnage 6%, but we're up to 10 employees out there. Remember the board, we talked with the board back and forth for a while, and we had a additional operator and additional diversion worker, and that diversion worker is shared between Johnson Canyon and Holon Road. So that's increased a little bit, and actually it came in a real good time because when COVID hit, our staffing levels were up and down, and tonnage was definitely up. Sun Street Transfer Station, our staffing levels in 15-16 were 14 employees. Trips have increased 33% and tonnage 4%. We're still holding at 14 employees. And with more self-haul, we need more guys on the ground, the diversion workers. At this time, we're holding with 14. We're maintaining. It's a little tough. Definitely would like to have more help, but we're holding for now. But definitely getting busier and busier year after year at Sun Street. And then the HHW field ops. HHW has had 4 employees for about 10 or 11 years now. We're holding there. We're holding our customers. We're handling about 8,000 to 9,000 customers a year still. That's pretty good average. And we're handling about 220 tons of hazardous waste, not including e-waste and other commodities that go to different vendors besides our main HHW. And then field ops went up 1 person this year. The board also allocated an additional field ops guy, which is great. The field ops technicians work on the landfill gas, the liner, on-site maintenance for the post facilities, and we keep them busy. I mean, they've got a large list of projects that we're doing in-house, which is great because our costs are maintained low by doing a lot of this work in-house, and that's what we do most of the time. And then the scale house, we also added a scale attendant last fiscal year, so that helped out tremendously because we could put a second person out at Sun Street and the MRC to help out with the large amount of traffic and funnel them in a little easier, at least for the minimum loads. So that's a big help for Sun Street. Next slide. So these are pictures from one of our communications dinner. We didn't have a communications dinner this year, and I look at these pictures and it makes me kind of sad. That's about the only time that we're all together in the same room. We have board members show up. It's definitely a good time. We'll be there again, but I'm here to answer any questions that the board may have.
Well, thank you, Caesar, for that, and thank you for ending with these pictures. Nice to see so many neat people, hardworking people. I will go ahead and open it up to board discussion first. Are there any board members with questions?
I had one, President Cullen. Mr. Zuniga, are you seeing an increase as far as the tonnage go, like just a trend right now, or are you seeing a decrease at all?
The decrease was more on the commercial side. I think Republic, the franchise holder, saw a little bit of a dip. That's being impacted more. The self-haul, though, the mom and pops and smaller businesses, we've seen an increase in their tonnage. And I'm not sure if they've got more time, so they're cleaning up their houses or organizing. They're doing, do-it-yourself projects at home because we can't really do much on the weekend. So mom and pops, self-haul, I'm seeing an increase in their trips and their tonnage. Okay. Republic saw a decrease at the beginning, but I think they're leveling off now.
Is it leveling
but
off?
Definitely.
I'm sorry.
Leveling off. Yep, leveling off to about where they should be now.
Okay.
If it was a normal situation.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I think, you measure our trash, you can kind of see what the economic activity is still going on. I appreciate.
Yeah.
Just so I can chime in because I have been tracking the tonnage. When COVID shut down, we had an initial dip, and then in May, June, started to pick back up in May. June and July were basically flat year over year. Okay. And in August, we're very slight dip. We're about 2-3% down year over year for trash at least. Recycling's actually up all the way across the board. So our overall tonnage is up, but the trash, which is what pays the bills, is right. Slightly down.
Well, that's good news. I mean, just seeing that as far as economically, we're still kind of chugging along here. even though we have some challenges ahead, but that's good news. Thank you, Mr. Hendricks and Mr. Zuniga.
Okay, is there any other board members with questions?
Oh.
Has any public comment come in on this item?
No public comment.
Okay. Then this item also is on for information only. So we'll go to item number 12, which is an update on expansion of the organics program, SB 1383, and the composting facility. And we're going to receive a report from Mandy Brooks, Resource Recovery Manager.
Hold on just a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, good evening again. I am providing the update on our SB 1383 planning for organics recovery programs, along with the operation of our new composting facility to help meet these new mandates. So the next couple of slides that I'm going to show you are really reminders and refreshers. I think you've seen these before. It's to explain why we're focusing on the organic waste and what it means. It's really about reducing the amount of food scraps and packaged food from entering the landfill. So that it means that we're looking at pre and post consumer food scraps like vegetables, fruits, cheese, meats, bones. And this can, again, also include your packaged foods like those very convenient salad packs, lettuce, broccoli, anything that's bagged or in a clamshell. It also includes food soiled paper mixed with food waste. So think your napkins, your paper plates, your pizza boxes, anything that has compostable packaging. It also includes our green waste, yard trimmings, grass, leaves, branches, as well as clean wood and lumber. Next slide. So why organic waste? Why the huge focus on it at the state level? The short answer is California still throws away a lot of organic materials, and that includes food. And we still have a lot of people that are still going hungry every day in the state. Cal Recycle's focus on organic waste reduction is part of their larger state climate strategy of reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And organic waste is the largest waste stream in California. Approximately 27 million tons is landfilled every day. You can see that reflected in the chart. And then we also throw away over 6 million tons of food waste each year in the state. Now, we just heard from the food bank. So putting that into perspective, here in Monterey County, the food bank locally serves 1 in 5 residents, 50% are children. So this equals about 45,000 children in Monterey County that continue to experience food insecurity issues every day. Stay on this slide, don't move, please, Rosie. And if you remember, the authority recently completed our waste characterization study in 2019. And that study looks at the various types of waste that are still entering the landfill, and that looks at by sector as well as by jurisdiction. So organic waste in the Salinas Valley, it makes up the largest percentage still going into Johnson Canyon. And in the commercial sector, especially, food waste makes up over 30%, of which 37% is at packaged food. So this study actually was also very helpful in our SB 1383 program planning. So I'm glad we had that for these planning purposes. Next slide. So just a reminder, these are the key implementation dates. The mandate actually took effect January 1, and that's the 50% reduction of organic waste. Next item there on the timeline is January 1, 2022. The regulations take effect, and then the state can begin enforcement. By 2024, the local governments, that's all of our member agencies, are required to take enforcement. And then by 2025, we're supposed to be meeting the reduction at 75% of organic waste, as well as the 20% increase in edible food recovery for human consumption. Again, the 50% and 75% reduction levels are not required at the jurisdiction level, but it is at a state level. So it just means that everyone still has to have programs in place to help meet that. Next slide. At the January board meeting at the beginning of this year, contracts with SCS Engineers, Diversion Strategies, and Green Mountain Technologies were awarded to assist with developing our program plan. along with our member agencies to help them plan to meet these 1383 requirements. Diversion Strategies and Green Mountain Technology was hired to also provide a compost marketing plan and technical assistance now that the composting facility is open and complete from what you saw from the pictures that Caesar shared. We also have been working with the cities, including peninsula cities, along with the county and Monterey Regional Waste Management District and all the haulers to begin to use Recyclist. Recyclist is a cloud-based online database system, and that will ensure continuity and consistency across the county for tracking and recording 1383 programs in compliance, which is mandatory and required as part of the mandate. So the authority, we've actually been using this database, Recyclist, for several years, and it's actually been a very valuable program tracking tool. And we recently were able to confirm that all entities throughout the county are now on board and willing to use Recyclist and also share, participate in a cost share for the program. So that's really great news. So we hope to finalize the 1383 program plans. They're scheduled to be completed in September, and then we will present those to the board late fall, early winter. Next slide, please. This is just a snapshot of our program planning timeline to get these reports out. And you can see we're right on target in August. Task 5, we're going to be finalizing the plans and procedures. So we are right on schedule and hopefully right on schedule for also meeting the timelines and milestones that I outlined for 1383 requirements as well. Next slide. So Caesar kind of has a more updated picture, but this is what the new aerated static pile compost system and pad looks like. The pictures he showed actually had material on it, but I wanted to give you a bird's eye view. This is looking down from the top of the current landfill, so you can actually kind of get a good perspective. The pad is approximately 1 acre. It has 60 rows of air pipes that are subgrade in concrete, and then there's air blowers and controllers also connected. So compost actually needs a lot of water. You can see then that there's dark green water tanks at the lower right-hand corner of the picture. And these tanks hold water from the on-site stormwater pond, which is pumped up, as well as clean water to be used in the composting operations. This whole entire pad was designed to compost up to 75,000 tons of material annually. And then Caesar had a better picture, but out of view of this picture is the chip and grind operation, which will be able to accept an additional 50,000 tons of material, mostly wood chips and pre-compost feedstock. The updated estimated cost that the facility, what we came up with was $25 million. The grant fund paid for about 1.4 million, which included the depackager, which is in the far distant, off in the distance of the picture there, and the food rescue truck for the food bank.
I'm sorry to interrupt. 2.5 million.
Oh, what did I say?
I don't want to give anybody a heart attack.
Did I say 25 million?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It is not 25 million. It's 2.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Okay. It's been a long week. I apologize.
Yeah, especially with what you're going through up there. Yeah. So.
Yes. Potentially my house is on fire. So.
Well.
It's 2.5 million. Next slide. Thank you, Patrick. So this is us making compost. As of June 1st, excuse me, Vision Recycling, our contracted organics processor, began composting with material you can see there on the pad. The air is turned on. And this is obviously the opposite perspective of the picture from last time. So each of the rows of material is covered with finished compost, and that acts as the biofilter cap to reduce odor and emissions. And then the air is turned on and pumped into the materials using all those subgrade air pipes, which Brian and several of our staff and TEPs labored for months and months and months to make that all happen. And so they're in concrete, and then there's the large blue air blowers are connected to, which you can see behind that brick wall there. The material will remain on this air pad for about 21 to 28 days or until it meets the pathogen reduction requirements. Temperatures, blower speed, and other analytics are also tracked via online real-time system called WebMax. Once the material comes off the air pad, the material is then cured and stored for another 30 to 60 days to stabilize the compost. And then at this time also is when samples are taken to ensure that the compost meets the STA, which is the seal of testing assurance. And these are the standards and requirements to certify the compost. Next slide, please. Next slide. Thank you. At the June meeting, the board also approved the purchase of a mixer and tractor for the composting operation. So the mixer was actually, which is the large brown machine behind the tractor. It's actually designed for mixing cattle feed or grain, but it has the same effect of blending the ground yard waste and then also the slurry that comes from the depackager to create a homogeneous mixture for composting. The mixer holds about 30,000 pounds, which is about 15 tons of material, and has an onboard scale, so we're able to track. The tractor is required to help run the mixer, and then once fully mixed, the tractor is used to also transport that mix to the compost pad. So both pieces of equipment were pre-owned, and also we were able to pay them. They're paid for out of our existing organics grant, which has been extended for an additional year. Next slide. So this is a picture of inside the mixer. Excuse me. It has dual rotating augers to help with the blending and mixing, obviously, of the two materials. Next slide. And then this is what the material looks like after that wet and dry materials have been blended and emptied onto the ground. This is over by the compost pad, and so they will remix it again with some more dry material and then put it on the pad for composting. We already heard from Melissa with the food bank. And so we are now proud to say that we have helped the food bank with 2 refrigerated food trucks. The first one was a partial funding with the grant funding. That was back in December of 2018. Since then, the food bank has done an amazing job of rescuing over 2,000 tons or 4 million pounds of edible food. And that was just for using that one truck. So the second truck, I'm sure they'll be able to do just as much good with that second truck. And I know how grateful they are, especially during now with the fires and also with COVID. So we're hoping that the second truck will arrive in, like I said, in the next few weeks. And this is, you already saw the picture of, this is their existing graphics for their food trucks, but this is the back door. So the side wrap will be on both sides of the truck, and then the back door, this is just a mock-up. This is not the final, but we'll finalize, but this will be on the back door of the new truck with our logo and, Too Good to Waste, working together to rescue edible food to help end hunger in the Salinas Valley, along with some of the grant acknowledgements. So that is it. If you have questions, I am available. Thank you.
Thank you, Mandy. And I like that backdoor wrap too. That's cool. Those are the types of things as that's going up and down the highway, people will see that. And
yeah. Sorry, my son just joined.
Okay.
You say hi.
What do you think of the truck? Thumbs up on the truck?
Thumbs up on the truck.
Pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Thank you, man. Thank you, Mandy, for that report. And
yes.
Sounds goofy, but thank you for all the pictures, because it's it's one thing to give a verbal report, but seeing all those pictures brings it to life. And so thank you for doing that. All right, let's open it up for board questions or comments first, please. Are there any board comments or questions?
No.
It was a pretty thorough report, Mandy. Has any public comment come in on this item?
No public.
Okay. One last chance, any board comments?
Well, appreciate the comprehensive report. And Mandy, you better keep an eye on Ty. I understand he's up on your roof watering it down right now. So I just got a report from Josh. So think things aren't good up there. So
No, they're not. The fire is directly behind our house and is burning one of the houses at the very top of our road. So
yeah. All right.
yeah.
Be
Thank
safe.
you though.
Be
Thank
safe.
you. Thank you.
Ms. Brooks, this is Tony. Thank you for the report, and I mean, it's very thorough, and I know you're doing this in stressful times. So I mean, with your family and having to deal with all that. So I mean, take care of them, and be safe. And thank you very much for everything you do for us.
Thank you.
And this is Director De La Rosa. Yes, Mandy, be safe. We've been praying for everyone up there. Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead, and this is also on for informational only. So we'll move on to our consideration portion of the agenda. The first item is number 13, which is an update on the emergency response related to COVID-19. And I'll turn it over to Patrick, please.
Thank you, President Collin. It's going to be a very quick report. Just wanted to keep the board informed. So far, we again have not had any employee-related COVID infections yet. We have had a number of second or third-party exposures. So we've had a couple of tough weeks here or there where we've had to temporarily quarantine employees until they've gone through a testing protocol and cleared to come back to work because they have had a second-party, third-party exposure. That's unfortunately, I think, going to be the structure of things going forward for the next several months, at least until there is a vaccine or more significant treatment for COVID. But so far, the employees are doing an absolutely incredible job of distancing and wearing their masks, taking all the safety protocols, and sort of these exposures obviously are happening outside of work, family, friends that they find out later, may or may not have come in contact with somebody. So we're keeping that at the top of our list. So included in the packet was really just a summary. We get this every week. For those of you that have asked to be subscribed to Waste Dive, the Reader's Digest of our industry, they do publish an update every week of the effects of COVID in the industry around the country. And so it has really just a small paragraph about, hey, this materials recovery facility, they had a wave go through and they had to shut down or cut back their hours of operations. And so it's just a reminder for us and for the board. We're in a very challenging time with COVID. The employees are doing a great job. I want to put an extra shout out to Monica Embreeze, our HR supervisor. She's been doing an incredible job working with all the employees on COVID issues and getting them tested and dealing with leave related issues and child care challenges. And she's been working really diligently to keep the employees not only informed, but to keep them safe and to give them all the resources that we can possibly give them to help them get through this time. So the one thing I always want to say was great. It's great to hear, and we get these updates from Ray's staff every week in terms of where the tonnage is tracking, where the revenues are tracking. We're tracking year over year about the same right now. That's good news. We're not seeing an upward trend, but that's not expected. But because of what we're seeing in the industry and out in the real world outside of Salinas Valley, it's pretty clear we're not out of the woods yet. And so we're continuing to manage finances very tightly, not making any unnecessary expenses, and just continue to track this and see where things go without the rate increase this year. And still maintaining a full workforce. Things aren't tight, but they're also not rosy. And so we're hopeful that this this trend will continue in terms of recovery, and we should all be blessed that we are working in this industry in a predominantly agricultural community, because there's a lot more essential workers up and down than you see in the hospitality. I have a peer up in Sonoma County. Their system is really struggling with huge reductions because their revenue is based on waste coming from hospitality and less from agriculture. So we do have that one decided advantage. We're weathering this better. So with that, I'll entertain any questions anybody has, but it's just a quick update on where we are with COVID.
Thank you, Patrick. And I was going to wait to ask this question until we got to this item, whether it's for you or for Caesar. Now we're dealing with the dual COVID-19 and the fires. I just wanted to see how the crew at all our locations are doing these last couple days with the smoke. Have we added additional measures to keep them safe, or the masks that they're using, are they helping with the smoke as well?
Well, we're handing down N95s. We do have some N95s that we picked up this spring, and we are handing those out to King City today at Holon Road, just because the smoke is a lot thicker over there. Unfortunately, King City's getting the worst end of the migration of all the smoke from the fire from north all the way south. So we did go out there and talk to them today. We're going to continue to monitor it. The Air Board's got a real good website with different, they actually have a site in King City where they give me the particles that are in the air. So we'll monitor the air, and if it gets too bad, we may pull the plug on the facility and close it down just for employee safety. But we haven't had to do that yet. We hit a couple of whammies because last week we hit the heat wave. So we had to adjust to that, and then the fires came over the weekend. So guys their spirits are getting up there, but it's one of those years, man. It's like, what's next? And unfortunately, I'm not going to say what's next because I already talked to my guys and we're already predicting what's next. But, we're thinking the weather, the way it's going with our luck, it's going to be a very wet year. So, but the guys are doing a great job. They're not missing a beat at work. They're showing up, where they're handling all the traffic. They're staying upbeat, and they're just doing a great job. I can't say enough about our staff. They're super motivated. They're here to do whatever they can do to make the operations work efficiently. And I'm very proud of the staff we have, not only from our operations, but also from our administrative office. And then as it goes with COVID, we've been very fortunate. We do have a large number of people that come into the facility. We do have our social distancing, our safety protocols in place. We haven't had one employee who has got any symptoms that are related or exposures that are related to work. That's also very good news.
Yeah. Okay. Well, please pass on the behalf of the board our sincere thanks for all that they're doing, and just prayers and continued thoughts as they deal with stuff, being frontline workers. So,
Exactly.
okay, let's open it up to board comment or question on this item. Any board comments or questions? Has any public comment come in on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, as we get to these last couple of agenda items, a reminder to the public to submit comments via email at comment@svswa.org. And this is on as provide input and direction, but Patrick, you don't need anything from us on this, right?
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, we'll go to the next consideration item, which is number 14, an update on Sun Street Transfer Station relocation project. And I'll turn it over to you, Patrick.
Yeah, this too will be very brief. We've had one meeting with Republic Services on Madison Lane and exchanged a few emails. So I'll cut to the chase. Where we are right now with them, based on the most recent correspondence, is one, they aren't interested in selling a portion of that property to the authority. They may be interested in other structures And what they have informed us they've done is they've hired a consultant, an engineer, to come in and do a full evaluation and needs assessment on the property. And once that's completed, then they will sit down with us and talk to us about what they might offer us in terms of, I'm assuming, space or operating agreements or other things. So right now, at least in terms of what Republic is willing to offer us, it is still on the table. However, it won't be fully defined until they've completed their engineering and needs assessment.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to, on this item, I'm going to save my comments till we get to number 15, because my comments they're very closely related. Quite frankly, we should probably combine these agenda items. So I'm going to hold off on my comments till we get to 15, but let's open it up for board discussion on this item. Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah, I have, did you, Patrick, are they even, you get a feel whether they're gonna ultimately be amenable, or are they amenable to a long-term lease of part of the facility? You know, a 25, 50-year lease? You get any feeling of that?
Yeah, I think that is the sense that they're leaving me with, that they are not interested in selling the property, but based on the outcome of their needs assessment, they may be open to leasing and contracting for the operations that we're doing now at Sun Street. So yeah, so that seems to be the direction they're heading, not sale, but and we've been clear. We're very interested in, if it's going to be a lease, it has to be a very long-term lease.
A follow-up question, is that something that you would recommend if we got a long-term lease under the right conditions and requirements?
We've definitely left the door open for that discussion. I haven't said no or yes. We obviously need to sort of understand the terms and conditions, and when they get the assessment done, when they tell me, we'll let you know, what we might offer. I don't know what that means yet. So to me, it just means that they have to go through their own corporate priorities of looking at what they need to be able to manage on that property. And then at that point, they'll make a decision what space or activities they could support with a long-term lease. But yeah, we have talked about long-term lease. Not opposed to it. I'd prefer ownership. I think that's always better for an agency than doing the business we're doing. It doesn't mean we can't continue to look. I have reached back out to some real estate folks to just see what's going on. I'm not really actively looking for another property, but to just remind them that we're still interested in certain types of commercial properties. They should arise, but at this point, we're hoping they'll have that work done in a month or so. Hopefully by the October meeting, we'll have something we can report back on that's definitive from Republic. But we'll stay engaged with them as they go through that.
All right, thank you, Patrick. Hopefully, maybe the city of Salinas can bring some clout behind us a little bit. So, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point. I would like to just again request that the city talk with their administrative folks, or I'm not sure exactly who would be handling this, but to please provide us a list of interested developers and other people that are interested in the LSL marketplace, whether it's the past developer, if they've shown a new interest in redevelopment of the marketplace, or any of the other parties out there that are primary property owners that may be looking at putting together properties in anticipation of that project. I'd really like to start talking with people that we know are actually interested in the marketplace, so we can start talking about Sun Street as well. That's an important.
Yeah,
that would be our retirement gift to Gloria. So
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Judge Phillips. Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah? Yes.
Yes, I had requested that from Ray, And I will follow up. We will follow up with that request.
Great.
Okay.
I appreciate
yeah.
Okay, are there other board comments or questions on this item before we move to 15? Has any public comment come in on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, we'll go to item 15, which is an update on the City of Salinas one-year notice of intent to withdraw from the joint powers agreement with the Salinas Valley Solid Waste Authority. And this is good because by me waiting, I can just say some of those things that you just said were what I was going to say. What we need now, it's funny, Judge Phillips, you say a gift to Gloria, a retirement gift. Maybe this is the retirement gift that Gloria can give to us. Gloria, right. If you can help with those conversations. Look, sure. Bottom line is we got to get out of Sun Street. Look, right. Look at that picture of that line of vehicles. Just insanity there. We have to find a permanent solution. We all know it. Let's get it done. Mm-hmm. And the first step is we have to resume the conversation with Salinas. Now, for obvious reasons, those conversations, there was a pause on them. We got to resume those ASAP. And I'm going to ask Gloria, in your role, both City of Salinas, but also on the exec board, you and then the other two Salinas representatives, you guys need to pave the way for us to have this communication and this conversation. And so please carry that message back. Patrick, myself, we're ready to resume those conversations. We just need to get it scheduled. We need to know who needs to be spoken with, who the right people are to get in the room to get it done. And right. Hit several fronts. We need to know, we've now been waiting several months for the request that Ray Corpus said he was going to send to us surrounding conditions and what actions the authority needs to take in order for the City of Salinas to rescind their notice of intent to withdraw. This is not fair to continue to hold the authority hostage when we're waiting for information, we're waiting for a meeting, we're waiting. We're ready. We got to get it done. And Gloria and the other Salinas reps, we need your help to do it. Okay. So the two things that, well, more than two, but kind of the two high level topics. One is we need to hear from the City of Salinas on what needs to happen in order for the City of Salinas to rescind that notice of intent to withdraw. And then related to moving out of Sun Street and whether it's Madison Lane or somewhere else, we need to have more locations identified, potential locations identified. We need assistance with communication between Salinas and Republic related to Madison Lane. We need information and assistance and action on potential buyers, potential developers for Sun Street to pave that way. Mm-hmm. We can't do anything without the help of City of Salinas. And we know we need to leave Sun Street and we need your help, okay?
Yes.
So
yes.
Patrick's given the update on Madison Lane. I wanted to make that request that I just made. And for now, that's all I have on my report. Patrick, did I miss anything that you wanted to add?
No, you covered it all.
Okay. Then are there any board discussion on this?
None.
Okay, hearing none, then has any public comment come on this item?
No public comment.
Okay, so we will await word from whether it's directly from you, Gloria, or through the city manager's office to get a meeting scheduled and get back to work on this, okay?
Sure.
Okay. Thank you. I apologize. I should have said at the beginning of the meeting, We do not have updates in closed session, so we are not going to be going into closed session tonight. I apologize. I should have said that at the beginning. So no closed session tonight.
Okay.
So with that being said, let's go to the view ahead schedule, please.
All right, I'll make this very quick so we can all get back to our busy, challenging lives. So this is the best, the best part of the year. It's the part that I love the most. Audits and annual reports will be coming. So I know audits don't make people excited in the real world, but considering where this agency started, I'm always excited to see our audit results because it proves that the board and your staff have been working very diligently to create a much more sustainable, financially sustainable government structure for this agency. And the audit is really the tell-all for that. We're in the process of finishing up the annual report. It's in review right now, so we'll be excited to present that to you in September. And again, we'll have the regular updates as you did tonight on Sun Street and the Salinas withdrawal. So got a busy fall ahead of us. So looking forward to the next couple of months of presentations to help bring the board up to speed on the agency's progress.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Are there any questions from board members on the view ahead schedule?
No.
So at this point in time, again, we are not going into closed session. So we will stand adjourned at 7:20 p.m.
Mr. Chairman, can I throw something in?
Yes.
And I should have commented on this during the consent agenda. When you get my age, you don't think as fast as you should when you were 65 or so. So, I wanted to comment and thank the board for the resolution approving the money for the litter abatement. To me, that's going to be a huge, huge thing for our county. And recently, Supervisor Adams was so concerned about trash being put in the various parks and things and no way of really picking it up that we talked about putting some COVID money out. And I said, well, we got a program, we just got to get it off the ground. And so we're pushing to get that done. And we've talked to a veterans group, a prison group, Smith and Enright, which I have great respect for, but I think that's going to be a critical thing of getting trash off the highways and the byways. And I drove Old Stage Road the other day down on the back part of it, and it's just terrible. And the county doesn't have the ability and flexibility to get some of those things done. So I think this is going to be a critical thing. But what I have strongly recommended to the county is, since our board is supporting this financially, that Mandy or someone from our board be on the interview panel so that we can make sure we get the right people running this program. So, but I do thank the rest of the board for the support. And I think it's going to be a critical program for us. I get more calls about trash than almost anything else before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well said, and thank you for those comments. Okay, I am going to, unless I hear anyone speak, I am going to adjourn the meeting at 7:30 p.m. and stay healthy and safe, everyone. Take care.
Be safe, huh?
Stay safe, everybody.
Be safe.
Thank you.
Stay safe, everyone. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.